That female that's outside at your door, she seems distressed. Can you just have a chat with her, please?
I feel very protective over the public, whether I know them or not. I'm also fiercely protective over my colleagues and will do the best that I possibly can to protect them in the same way that I know that they'll protect me. I guess the thoughts that go through your mind when you come to work in that sense would be, yeah, you know the level of responsibility. It's a lot of weight on your shoulders to make sure that everyone goes home safe at the end of the night. My name's Frank Fletcher. I am a door supervisor and CCTV operative. So we are currently inside of the Ashford Club. I've been with them now for coming up to about 3 years or so. Since I've been here, I have been looked after like a member of the family, realistically. They've trained me up. They've trained me up to be a better professional. They've always had my back, every single one of them here. My colleagues, my management, even my bar staff have always had my back. And yeah, it's been an experience. I love it. I don't want to leave. The great thing about the security industry, if you're someone that gets bored easily, every night, every shift is always different. You might have some nights where they are very, very slow. I won't use the Q word, quiet. Quiet is barred in this industry as far as I'm concerned, because you will find once you've used that word, it tends to draw out a bit of the trouble. But you know, you could have those kinds of nights, slow nights, or you could have nights where the minute you walk through the front door, all hell's breaking loose, you need to get involved, and it just doesn't end until you go home. So the unpredictability of that night is great for me. It keeps me stimulated, it keeps my head on a swivel, keeps me paying attention to the little things, stops me getting complacent or tired. So I love that about that. I love that about this industry. So when I'm suiting up for my shift, generally the first thing I'll start with is the clothing itself. So we've got a load vest, black, it's got my insignia on the front and it's got security written on the back. In that I will have a torch which generally goes on my left hand shoulder. On the opposite shoulder I have my in-house radio. From there I have 2 sets of cuffs that I carry with me on a nightly basis. One set of cuffs I have attached to my hips. I also have a set of rigid handcuffs which I attach to the front right hand side of my load vest. I also have on me smart tag or smart water canister. The other bit of equipment that I have as well, I have a body cam that attaches on, again, on my right side just beneath my radio. We have tons of equipment in that van for pretty much anything that we can deal with at our level. From defibs and first aid equipment to spare jackets, coats and equipment should anything break during the course of the shift. As soon as we hop in the car and we're ready to go, generally the first thing we start doing is having a little drive around our venues that we're covering tonight. It's entirely up to the boss where we go first, but we'll do loops as we go through the night. And every time we pull up at a venue, we step out the vehicle and just have a little conversation. Check up if there's anything we need to know, if they're all okay, maybe perhaps what the venue capacity and numbers are like. And we just figure out what we do from there. We just travel around each venue, checking in. We have a little bit of a laugh, a little bit of a social if it's a little slow, keep the morale up. But, and then we sort of just repeat that through the night. Obviously if something comes up on internal or external, we'll stop that circle and go directly to that venue to deal with the issue. For example, say there was a security call or assistance needed, we stop whatever we're doing. If we're in the van, we go straight there. If not, we get straight back in, drive to that venue, and then we'll meet up with whoever's working there and we communicate with them on the way. So if we can hear there's a problem, the first thing we ask is for the last caller to relay their message. And when we get there, we relay who is ever on the doors and we jump in and help them. So what that was, that we just sort of walked into was a verbal disagreement between a male and a female. They didn't know each other apparently before this evening, but it has been alleged that the female in question was harassing the male, wouldn't leave him alone, and the male is a regular at the venue, so apparently he suffers with bipolar or some sort of mental disorder, So because of the constant harassment, it triggered his mental health and he got quite upset, quite irate because she wouldn't leave him alone. Him having his cigarette, taking a minute to step out of the way and just sort of collect himself while the other door staff dealt with the female, and her behaviour was probably the best way of dealing with that, because obviously those two mixing with each other wasn't a healthy situation. Once that's done, business as normal. Obviously we'll check over our colleagues, make sure they're not injured, generally get a layout of what exactly happened, including the build up to the incident. So once we've got a timeline of events, anything that needs to be addressed, like say injuries, or perhaps if anyone's made any mistakes, it's just very quickly and discreetly addressed, and so that there's no, hopefully we can stop that from repeating itself in the future. And then we get back in the vehicle, whoever came that gets in with us, and then we carry on with our patrol around the high street. My white knight complex in this scenario is I feel very protective over the public, whether I know them or not, particularly over those that would be perceived as more vulnerable. I'm also fiercely protective over my colleagues. I get very upset when I see my colleagues under assault, and will do the best that I possibly can to protect them in the same way that I know that they'll protect me. So I guess the thoughts that go through your mind when you come to work in that sense would be, yeah, you know the level of responsibility. It's a lot of weight on your shoulders to make sure that everyone goes home safe at the end of the night. So it's always important to have someone who you can talk to. I say we are a really good, tight-knit team. We're more of a family here than a team. So I know if I'm having any problems, I can call, text, or speak to whoever it is on my team, and we can process that emotional stuff together and deal with it from there. You know, try not to judge us too harshly on the way we work. We do come out here every night to make sure you guys have a safe night. If we turn you away or we have to remove you from a venue, it's not because we're trying to be horrible or we're trying to bully you or victimize you or discriminate against you. It's because we want to make sure you get home safe. If we tell you you've had too much to drink, probably a good idea to get something to eat and have a taxi. Don't abuse us. That's not what we're here to get. That's not what we're paid to deal with. We'll deal with it, but that's not what we're paid to deal with. We're here to make sure you get home safely. So just maybe bear that in mind next time you go out for a drink and have to have a conversation with one of us. When you're doing these get licensed courses like door supervision, where I specialise, I would say, and we do cover schemes like Ask for Angela, we do anti-spiking awareness courses, okay, we cover conflict management, physical intervention, the principles of working in the private security industry, the principles of working as a door supervisor. All of these things are incredibly relevant, even if at the time you're taking the course, you'd be surprised when you get in the industry just how much of that is actually relevant to the job that you'll do every single day. So it really benefits you if you pay attention to what's being told to you or taught to you in those courses.